Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Welcome back to another video. Now, it's been a bit of a stressful couple of weeks at university. We're building up to this big deadline, which is going to be tomorrow. So, yeah, it's been pretty hectic, but I've finished all my work now, which is absolutely awesome. And now I can get back to making some videos. So, anyway, today's video is going to be part 2 of Formula 1 rejects. Where are they now? So we're going to start off with a Spanish F1 driver called Jaime Alguersuari. At the time, he was the youngest F1 driver ever. Let's understand how he got himself into Formula 1 and where it all went wrong. So Jaime Alguersuari started racing in 2005 in Italy and quickly rose through the ranks, winning Formula Renault and British Formula 3, backed by Red Bull. In 2009, as we previously mentioned, he would go on to make history. Midway through that 2009 Formula 1 season, he would replace Sebastian Bourdais at the Toro Rosso team. At the time, he was the youngest Formula 1 driver ever. After 2.5 seasons in Formula 1, he was dropped for Jean-Eric Vergne at Toro Rosso. Even though he beat his 2011 teammate Sebastian Buemi by 9 points, which at Toro Rosso was quite a substantial amount. If I remember correctly, it was actually a third extra points that Alguersuari had over Buemi, but they decided to keep Buemi for that extra season. He would go on to be the Pirelli F1 test driver over the next couple of seasons before joining Formula E, but unfortunately he only had 1 season in Formula E and retired from motorsport at the age of 25. That's absolutely insane. Right now, he's currently a DJ. It is obviously quite sad to see someone retire from the sport they loved growing up at 25 years of age, obviously rising through the ranks as quickly as he did. I think getting into Formula 1 at 19 years old, obviously an amazing feat at the time. He wasn't particularly great in his first season, but into his first half season, but into his first full season and second full season, he was actually really good. As I said, he beat Sebastian Buemi, who's obviously done amazing things in Formula E since. So it's really kind of sad for Jaime Alguersuari. I think there was so much talent in him, but as soon as he got dropped from Red Bull at the end of that 2011 season, the confidence was all gone. Even though he came back to Formula E and had a couple of strong results, a couple of top fives, it wasn't really enough to sort of, I guess, persuade him to stay in the sport that he maybe had kind of fallen out of love with, and also maybe convince other teams to sign up for the next season. I'm not exactly sure what the details were in terms of that, but I think you could kind of see throughout that season Alguersuari's head wasn't all towards motorsport, where a lot of motorsport drivers, the only focus they have in life is motorsport, but Alguersuari loved his DJing, loved his music, so I think that's fantastic. It's fantastic that Jaime Alguersuari has this other outlet to sort of, get his creative things going. So yeah, fantastic for Alguersuari that he's doing something he still loves. It's just a shame that there was so much talent there in motorsport. It's kind of a shame to not see him in any sort of motorsport nowadays. So next up, we've got Heikki Kovalainen, who spent a couple of years in Formula 1 and he started his career on a couple of big teams. Kovalainen started racing cars in the UK in 2001 and secured 2 wins in his debut season of Formula Renault UK, finishing P4 in the championship. He would go on to win the Formula Nissan Championship, which has most recently been known as Formula Renault 3.5 or Formula V8, and went on to secure the GP2 runner-up position in 2005. After spending the 2006 season as the Renault test driver, he got the promotion in 2007 after Fernando Alonso went to McLaren. He spent 6 years in Formula 1 with Renault, McLaren and Team Lotus. They would go on to be Caterham, securing 1 win and 4 podiums along his way. Unfortunately, Kovalainen had a terrible 2009 season with McLaren and understandably got dropped from the programme at the end of that season. He only ever go on to drive for backmarker cars after that season, except from the 2 races at the end of the 2013 season where he had raced for Lotus Renault, which at the time was a competitive car. It's also interesting to know nowadays Heikki Kovalainen races in Super GT in Japan. He won the 2016 GT Championship, however he's only had 2 wins over his 4 seasons in the sport so far. I always find Heikki Kovalainen a bit of an odd one because there was so much talent there, but I think that key season really was that 2009 season at McLaren where, the McLaren was pretty bad for the first half of the season especially. Even Hamilton was struggling to get anywhere near points that year. But the second half of the season it kind of flipped. That car, became somewhat decent. But he just couldn't sort of go that direction. Once the car was there at the start of the season, he could never get it back to his liking at the end of the season. Whereas Hamilton would go on to win races in that 2009 car, I should say. Kovalainen never got anywhere close to it. So, yeah, something happened in that 2009 season which sort of sent him in a bit of a downward spiral. He went to obviously some backmarker teams in 2010, 11 and 12. It was Team Lotus. Then did he go Caterham? I don't know. I don't know when it went Caterham. I think it was about 2012, 2013. But yeah, he never really got a points win or points car Well, you know what I mean. He never got a car that could finish in the points after 2009 season, really. Even though he had those two sort of comeback races to replace Raikkonen, I think it was at the end of the 2013 season. There was never really a chance for him to sort of prove himself in Formula 1. But thankfully, he's gone to Japan. He's been very successful in the Super GT series. They've got weird point systems out there, which means it sort of aids consistency over getting loads of wins. Oh, yeah, getting like 3 wins and then like, I guess like 3 wins and 3 DNFs is not as good as maybe like 6 third places. It's a weird point system out there. But anyway, he was the 2016 World Champion in Japan. Japanese champion, I mean. So one you guys definitely wanted me to talk about in this episode was Felipe Nasr. Now he was only in Formula 1 for a couple of seasons, but I definitely feel that he showed how quick he was as a race driver in those couple of seasons in the sport. Felipe Nasr broke onto the racing scene in 2008 after winning multiple go-kart championships in Brazil. He would go on to win Formula BMW, British F3 and finish P3 in the 2014 GP2 Championship, only finishing behind Jolyon Palmer and Stoffel van Dorn. His best F1 result actually came on his first ever race, the Australian Grand Prix in 2005, where he finished P5 for Sauber, which was actually incredible at the time because there were quite a few quick cars out there and Sauber definitely wasn't known as one of the quick cars at the start of that season. He would go on to score 27 points in the 2015 season, finishing P13 in the championship. The 2016 Sauber car was pretty terrible, but somehow Felipe Nasr scored 2 points for the team, which pretty much saved the team from going bankrupt that season. He was dropped for the 2017 season at Sauber in favour of one we talked about already in this series, which is Pascal Wehrlein. In 2017, he didn't do any racing at all, no full season on the 2017 season. He was sort of holding out in hope for an F1 seat, but nothing ever really came around. But he now races in the the IMS or the IMSA series, where he's currently P2 in the championship right now with 2 podiums out of the first 3 or 4 races, which means he's doing pretty good over there in sort of Le Mans prototype kind of cars. Felipe Nasr is another one of those sort of drivers that was sort of a little bit unlucky with the financial situation of Formula 1 because he had money, but not enough money to stay in Formula 1. Marcus Ericsson had more money, and even though at the time Ericsson wasn't securing great finishes in the sport, he was still obviously in the sport, went into 2017 with a seat because he had the financial backing that Felipe Nasr didn't. I think it was a Banco de Brazil or something like that. They sponsored Nasr in the 2015 and 16 season, but I think they pulled sponsorship or pulled major sponsorship for 2017, meaning, yeah, Felipe Nasr was left without a ride at all in motorsport, which is a shame, but he's got back into motorsport now over in America, which is fantastic. And yeah, keep our fingers crossed because he's a very talented driver and it's a shame to see him sort of have to go a bit of a step down, but maybe he can go back to the top soon. I mean, it's still a very good series that he's racing in out there, so I'm not saying it's a bad life whatsoever, but you definitely feel maybe he's better than racing in that. Maybe he could go into sort of a top team in the World Endurance Championship or something soon. That'd be awesome. So next up and lastly in this video, it's going to be Alexander Rossi, the American F1 driver that sort of substituted in for a couple of races in Manor in the last couple of years. The American driver started racing in the USA in 2005, winning the Skip Barber and Formula BMW Championships in America. He'd moved to Europe in 2009, racing in Formula Master, GP3, Formula Renault 3.5 and GP2. He actually finished P3 in the 2011 Formula Renault Series and second in the 2015 GP2 Series. He would go on to get 5 Grand Prix starts for Manor in 2005, being the first American to do so in a very long time. In 2016, he moved to IndyCar, finishing P11 in his rookie season. He actually scored an Indy 500 victory in his first ever attempt in that 2016 season, which is something that not many people do. In 2017, his overall season was much better. He got quite a few consistent podiums and actually got a win in there as well, finishing P7 in the championship. As of recording this video in 2018, Rossi has 3 podiums in 4 races, including a race victory in 2018. He currently sits P2 in the IndyCar Championship with a really strong chance of actually clinching his first ever IndyCar title in 2018. So once again, Alex Rossi, a kind of strange sort of career in a way. He sort of jumped quite far up quite early and then he sort of stalled at the GP2 Formula Renault level for a couple of years where he sort of struggled to, I guess, concrete how much of a good driver he was, because we all know now how good Alexander Rossi is. Obviously he's proved that over in IndyCar, multiple victories out there, I think 3 or 4 victories overall now in IndyCar, which definitely shows how quick he actually is. You don't win IndyCar by fluke, that's for sure. So yeah, Alexander Rossi, I guess he kind of struggled in that era of GP2 era. I think he spent like 3 or 4 years at that level, which really maybe sort of stunted his development in a way, because maybe it'd have been a bit more successful a bit earlier on as always, I guess you'd say, he'd probably have got to Formula 1 a bit quicker and maybe have actually had a full-time ride with a bit of a better team. But it's the way it goes. I think he's made definitely a really good career for himself out in America now. And yeah, maybe he can come back to Formula 1 one day. Maybe if he goes and wins multiple IndyCar titles, maybe some F1 teams will ring you up like, yeah, mate, we know you're very good now, so can you maybe come back and race in Formula 1? We'll see, but it's definitely an opportunity. He's raced in Formula 1 now, so he knows the sort of procedures and the skill you need to have. But maybe in a couple of years' time, maybe an F1 team will come calling to see whether they want him back in the sport. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy doing these sort of videos. Hopefully you are enjoying them as well. The last couple of videos have gone down really, really well. So thank you once again. I really, really appreciate it. As I have said at the start of this video, it's been a pretty busy time with university work recently. So yeah, that's the reason why I've sort of just been maybe like one video a week for the last month or so, because it's been tough. It's been tough, but I've been enjoying university, so at the same time it's like I haven't got as much spare time to do YouTube stuff. You guys probably don't care about that, but I just thought I'd make an explanation. Hopefully over the next couple of weeks, months, over the summer I'll have more video and all that sort of stuff coming towards you guys. I'm actually going away quite a bit over the summer, so you might not see me here as much. I will be still recording videos wherever I go in the world. I will still be making videos of some sort. I've got a notepad. This notepad has so many things in it. Yeah, I'm excited to maybe get some of these videos out for you guys over the summer. So that's pretty much it. As I said, thanks for watching, guys. Please remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you're new to my channel. I think you also had to hit the notifications bell thing down there as well to get all your notifications. It's weird, YouTube sort of messed itself up in a way, but yeah, if you want to hit that notifications bell, that will actually help me out as well, because it get all the videos to you guys on time, which is fantastic. And one last thing before I finish off this video, if you have any suggestions for a part 3 of this series, please leave them down there in the comment section. I have got a couple of ideas for people I could put in the series, but I want to make sure you guys get your suggestions in there first. So thanks for everyone that has suggested ones in the past. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.